All right, so picture this. You're a teacher, right? First day of class, and you give out a simple assignment. Introduce yourself. Classic, easy, right? Should be a total breeze.
Totally.
But not so fast in the age of AI.
Things are moving so fast.
I know, right?
It's kind of wild. I mean, can you imagine, like a couple of years ago, this would be like straight out of sci-fi. And now it's like teachers are dealing with it every day.
And we're not just talking about like some far-off future. This is real. This is happening right now. We're diving into this Reddit thread that blew up after a teacher caught her students using ChatGPT on, get this, their very first assignment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, everyone's got an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Teacher, students, even like tech people are all chiming in.
So what's the main like takeaway? Is it just like a kids these days thing? Or is there something more to it?
So some user, one user, Syzygy Xshine, is like, convinced AI is making everybody dumber.
Whoa.
Right? Like, they're arguing that we're losing the ability to think for ourselves.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who, cares about really understanding things deeply, it's a valid concern.
Totally. So like, what's the reasoning there? Why do they think that?
Well, they're pointing out that ChatGPT, at its core, is taking like existing information and just kind of spitting it back out in a new way. It's like fast food for your brain.
Oh, okay. I like that.
It fills you up, but it's not exactly nutritious.
Yeah, it's not like generating brand new ideas.
Right.
It's just repackaging what's already out there.
Exactly. And it can sound like really intelligent. But is it really building those critical thinking muscles that we all need to actually function?
You have to be able to think for yourself.
Exactly.
Form your own opinions.
Yeah, and express yourself in your own words. But hold on a second, because not everybody is freaking out about this. There are users like Sanhen who are saying AI is like just another tool, like a calculator.
Okay.
Like, we all adapted to calculators in math class, right?
Yeah.
Their argument is like, we'll adapt to this too.
That makes sense, yeah.
It's just a tool. It's fine. But here's the thing. Calculators are tools for calculation.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
very specific.
ChatGPT is different. It's designed to mimic human language. And that introduces a whole other level of complexity. So it's like, Is it really just a tool? Or is it something more than that?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, it's not just about doing the work.
Yeah.
It's about the thinking behind it.
Yeah.
Right? That's where the learning really happens.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what makes this whole debate so fascinating. It's not just about technology. It's like, we're talking about, what does it even mean to learn something anymore?
Exactly.
And then there's like this whole other, almost dystopian side to this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, some users are straight up seeing Idiocracy or Wall-E playing out in real life.
I can see that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, if we outsource all of our thinking to AI, are we just gonna I don't know, forget how to think for ourselves?
It's funny you say that, because those dystopian scenarios, I feel like, really get people thinking, really get people talking.
Yeah. Because
it's this idea that, wait a minute, we do need to be careful about how much we let technology do for us.
It's a slippery slope.
Totally.
But let's bring it back from the hypothetical for a second, because this Reddit thread we're talking about, it all started because of this professor, Megan Fritz. She teaches ethics and technology, so already.
Oh, wow.
Talk about perfect timing, right? She catches her students using ChatGPT on their very first assignment.
Oh, the irony. It's like, come on.
Right. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
It really highlights those contradictions. Here you are trying to get students to think critically about tech, and they're using tech to avoid thinking, potentially.
Right. And so Professor Fritz, she noticed this distinct regurgitated quality in the AI-generated intros.
Interesting. So she's saying it lacks a certain, originality.
Yeah, it's not really saying anything new. It's just rearranging existing ideas in a new way.
Like putting the puzzle pieces together in a different order, but it's still the same picture.
Exactly. And she makes this argument that AI shouldn't be treated like just another calculator. It's not just about crunching numbers. It's it could be shaping the way we think, the way we even process information.
It's it changes the way we engage with the world, potentially.
Totally. And so it all ties into this idea of deep reading that we were talking about earlier. Professor Fritz is worried about how these tools might be affecting our attention spans, our ability to sit down with a complex idea and actually unpack it in a meaningful way.
Yeah, no, I see that.
It's almost we're getting a constant stream of fast food for our brains.
Totally.
It's easy to consume, but it's not doing anything good for us in the long run.
It's not nourishing.
Exactly. And that's why this whole thing is so important.
It's a big deal.
Because it's not just about technology. It's about, like, the future of learning itself. What are we even doing here, you know?
Right.
So we've got some real concerns on the table here, but, like, what do we do about it?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right. Well, I mean, there are some, I think, pretty creative solutions out there. Like,
Yeah.
Newsweek had this article about this Trojan horse hack that this one teacher came up with to catch students using ChatGPT.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. A Trojan horse hack. Tell me more.
Okay. So imagine this. You're a teacher, right? And you're like, I got to find a way to make sure these kids are actually doing their own work. So this teacher, they hide a sentence in the assignment prompt. But here's the thing. It's in white text.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Right. So it's like, if you just copy paste the prompt into ChatGPT, you don't even notice it. It's so small.
Very clever.
But when they turn in the essay,
Busted.
bam, that hidden sentence is there.
That's pretty clever.
Pretty smart, right?
It is clever. But it does kind of, I don't know, it makes you think about, like, the ethics of it all. Like, is it fair to kind of trick students into revealing their methods? I don't know. It's an interesting dilemma.
It's tricky, right? It's like, where do you draw the line?
Right.
But it really highlights that it's not enough to just, like, sit around and complain about the challenges of AI, right?
Well, it's something.
We got to figure out some solutions.
Absolutely. We got to be proactive. And that takes, like, a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah.
You know, you need the technical side, but you also need the ethics, right?
Totally.
And you just, like, you need to understand how people learn.
Yeah, like, what even is learning anymore, right?
Exactly.
So if we're really going to be able to, like, handle this new world, these new tools,
Yeah.
we got to start asking some tough questions.
Like, what?
Like, what are the skills that are going to matter most in a world where AI is everywhere?
Right.
Is it just about being able to use the tools, or is it something more?
Yeah, because we don't want to get to this point where we're so reliant on AI that, like, we can't function without it.
Right,
What happens if the algorithms, like, stop working?
right.
You know?
That's a little scary, to be honest.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also think there's this huge opportunity here.
Okay, I like that. Tell me more about that.
So instead of looking at AI as this, like, threat to education, what if we flipped the script?
Okay.
What if we saw it as, like, this tool for empowerment,
I like that.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, imagine AI that could personalize learning, right?
Okay.
That's tailored to each student's individual needs and, like, their learning style. Think about students who maybe struggle in a traditional classroom setting.
Right. Yeah.
AI could be this, like, incredible support system for them.
Totally. And it's not like replacing teachers, right? It's like
Yeah.
giving teachers more tools
Exactly.
to actually reach these students.
It's like it frees them up to do the things that, like, only humans can do.
Exactly.
Inspire curiosity.
Yeah. Right.
Encourage critical thinking. Like, those are things that AI, I don't know if it'll ever be able to do that.
It all comes back to, like, how we use these tools,
Sure.
right? And that's what we keep coming back to, but it's true.
We can't just be passive about it.
We got to be having these conversations.
I got to shape the future that we want to see
Exactly.
for education, for learning.
And on that note, as we wrap up our deep dive into, ChatGPT in the classroom, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
Have you guys encountered AI in your own learning?
What do you think about all this?
What are your hopes? What are your concerns about the future of all of this?
Head over to our website. Let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah, because this isn't just about, like, us talking.
Right.
This is a conversation for everybody.
Everybody's got a stake in this.
Exactly. And hey, maybe together we can figure out how to use these tools, these crazy, powerful tools, to make learning more engaging, more accessible, more equitable for everybody.
I love that.
Until next time, stay curious and keep on diving deep.